Welcome aboard a journey filled with mystery and intrigue. Prepare to discover the stories behind 7 ships, fantasies that have haunted the seas for centuries. From lost legends to inexplicable tragedies, embark on this supernatural adventure with us. Mary Celeste. On December 4th, 1972, a group aboard the ship Dei Grazia found a vessel called the Mary Celeste adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, not far from the Azores. What caught the most attention was that it was completely deserted. It is known that at least 10 people were on board the Mary Celeste. The group was confused because, although a lifeboat was missing, nothing on the ship gave any indication as to why the Mary Celeste had been abandoned. The ship was carrying more than 1,700 barrels of alcohol, some of which had already spilled inside the vessel. The crew of the Dei Grazia took the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where British authorities began an investigation into what happened. They were unable to come up with a definitive answer, and the ship's case still remains unsolved, as all the people who were on board were never found. Flying Dutchman. The most famous ghost ship of all is the Flying Dutchman, which haunts the waters near the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. There are several variations of the story, but the most famous is that the ship's pilot, Captain Hendrik Vanderdecken, who lived in the 17th century, encountered a storm at the Cape of Good Hope and cursed God and all the elements he was sending. The ship hit a rock and sank, taking the entire crew with it. Since then, there have been reports that the captain and the entire ghost crew can be seen sailing the waters, waiting for the day they will be forgiven. They are refused entry at every door, and they are condemned to remain in the ocean until the period during which their penance shall expire, says a story published in an 1803 book written by John Lydon. El Kalush. El Kalush is a ghost ship that is supposedly always in the waters off the coast of Chile. El Kalush always sails at night and appears suddenly in the fog, always very well lit, writes author in Bingham. In her book Southern and Mesoamerican Mythology from A to Z, Chelsea House, 2010, she says that the ship guards the waters and severely punishes all those people who bring difficulties to the sea or the creatures that live in it. HMS Erebus and HMS Terror. On May 19, 1845, 2 ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, sailed for England, with sails set for the Canadian Arctic. Their goal was to sail through the treacherous waters that separated the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Led by Sir John Franklin, the vessels set out to collect samples and conduct scientific studies along the way. 134 officers and men of the expedition left inside them, but none of them returned. Later, messages were found by a rescue mission, which indicated that the ships had become trapped in the ice off King William Island in the Canadian Arctic. Franklin died on June 11, 1847, and the vessels were abandoned on April 22, 1848. The survivors attempted to cross the ice and reach the Canadian mainland to safety, but needless to say, the mission failed. Kobenhavn. On December 14, 1928, the Kobenhavn, a Danish sailing ship, left the Rio de la Plata, between Uruguay and Argentina, heading for Australia. She was notable for having 5 masts. She was a very easy vessel to find, equipped with a radio, auxiliary engine, and large lifeboats, wrote Hamish Moss for Sea Breezes magazine. She was a training ship and carried a crew of 60 men. Many of them were cadets, some from very important Danish families. The vessel came into radio contact with the Norwegian steamer William Bloomer on December 21st, but she was never seen again thereafter. After the disappearance of the Kobenhavn, many theories arose about it, but the most likely is that it hit an iceberg in darkness or fog, writes Ross. There were reported sightings of a ghostly 5-masted vessel in the 1930s. In 2012, wreckage believed to be from the Kobenhavn was found on Tristan da Cunha Island. HMS Eurydice. In 1878, HMS Eurydice, or Royal Navy training ship went missing while sailing near the Isle of Wight. A sudden snowstorm sank the ship, killing 364 crew members after a calm day. The phenomenon occurred so suddenly that people did not have time to react, according to press reports. The Eurydice continued with its sail raised and its doors open before disappearing into the blizzard, wrote Victoria Bartlett in an article for the BBC website. Eventually there were only 2 survivors, Bartlett observed. The ship still continued to float, but, as it was heavily damaged, it ended up sinking. Since then, several reports of a ghostly vessel have been haunting the area. Sailors and visitors claim to have seen a ghost ship off the Isle of Wight. In the 1930s, a British submarine found the HMS Eurydice in its dead form. Furthermore, Prince Edward, son of Queen Elizabeth II, reportedly saw the ship while filming a documentary in 1998. I hope you enjoyed the chilling stories of these ghost ships. If you liked the video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any news. Additionally, you can become a member of the channel to gain access to exclusive content and help us continue producing amazing videos. Thank you very much for your listening and support. Until the next mystery is solved.